Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be watching this video. Today, I'll be doing a tutorial walkthrough on how to get started in DeFi within the Flare ecosystem. With the recent support of USDT0, Flare's TVL has seen massive increases just in the last few days. For those that don't know, TVL, or total value locked, is a key metric used to gauge interest and activity within a specific network from both retail and developers alike. As Flare's TVL continues to increase, I'm sure there'll be more eyes and more interest on how to leverage the DeFi dApps currently available. And with the inclusion of USDT0, getting started in DeFi within the Flare ecosystem has never been easier. So with that being said, let's get right into today's content. All right, so our first stop will be Kraken. Kraken is a centralized exchange. It's one of the bigger centralized exchange. I would consider it a tier one. And if you happen to miss yesterday's announcement, Flare and Kraken announced a partnership of some sort where you can essentially buy USDT0 and send it directly to a Flare supported wallet, all from Kraken. Having solid on and off ramps makes things so much easier, makes your DeFi experience so much easier, especially when you can just buy stablecoin, send it to your supported wallet, and then figure out what you want to do from there, whether it's entering LPs, going to money markets like borrowing and lending, or anything else that may be available on the network in terms of DeFi. So to make things easier, I went ahead and bought some USDT on Kraken. So I have about $38 available to send. And what we're going to do is we're going to withdraw. So right here, I'm going to hit the withdraw button. I'm going to change this to Tether USD. Boom. And then I'm going to change the network. So I'm going to select Flare, USDT0 in parentheses. I have my withdrawal address already available. If you are going to be sending funds to addresses frequently, it's probably better to label them just so you don't get things mixed up. A lot of errors can occur. So if they're already labeled, it just makes things so much easier for you to identify that wallet and continue about your day. So I have my wallet selected, and now I'm going to choose 100% because I want to send all $38 worth of USDT to my Flare supported wallet. Now on Kraken, it seems like there is a fee. There's a $2 or 2 USDT fee. So instead of sending 38, I'll be sending 36 in order to pay that fee, which is not that big of a deal. So boom, I have that. Then I'm going to hit withdraw, withdraw, and then my withdrawal was successfully submitted. So now we're going to wait for the USDT to land in my wallet. Okay, now that the USDT0 has landed in my wallet, as you can kind of see here, I have 36 USDT0 available. Now we can start looking at opportunities that I may be interested in to deploy that capital and get that money working for me. So I came over to Flare Metrics and then selected the DeFi tab. Flare Metrics is a very good tool to kind of quickly scope out the opportunities available on the network in terms of DeFi. So you have all the different pool yields, you have some lending yields, and those seem to be the only two categories currently available, which is fine. That's where most DeFi typically falls in anyway. So looking at Enosys, they have some pretty good yields. They have a USDT0 wrap flare pool earning 180% APR. Let's see what else might be interesting. Blaze Swap has one as well, but I know Enosys is a Uni V3 type deck, so I can really concentrate my capital and earn more rewards if I play that range properly. Spark Dex has some pools available. If you don't necessarily want to swap into a volatile asset like you would for the USDT0 Wrap Flare pool, Wrap Flare being the volatile asset in that pair, it looks like SparkDex and even Enosys, they offer stable to stable pairs or pools that you can get into. So SparkDex has USDT0, CUSDX, USDT0, USDC, and so does Enosys, and then a couple other options. So for those that may not be, for those that this may be your first DeFi experience, you may be on the more risk adverse side, meaning you don't want to take a lot of risk or what have you. So a stable to stable pool might be the better option. Or if you don't want to have to worry about swapping assets or anything like that, putting all your USDT0 capital in the kinetic pool, supplying it to kinetic, and then earning a cool 30% on that capital. That's probably a move that you would go for. If you are a little bit more seasoned, or your appetite for risk is a little bit higher, then these LPs might be more of interest to you. These do require a little bit more activity, especially if you're managing your capital within a tighter range, especially in particular for USDT0 wrap Flare. Or, like I said, you could do a stable pool where you're pairing USDT0 with another stable coin. So the fluctuation is close to zero. So you really don't have to worry about managing a range as much as you would. And you're still earning anywhere from 76, almost 77% for USDT0, CUSDX, or USDT0, USDC, which is at 27, almost 28% on SparkDex, but that same pool is at 64% on Enosys. Now, it's not always about the yield. You got to worry about some other things or think about some other things like total volume in the last 24 hours for that pool, the TVL for that pool in particular, or any other criteria that you may deem important. So keep that in mind. Just for this example, though, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to just deploy my UST0 in the Kinetic pool. I'm going to supply it on the lending market for Kinetic. I don't have to worry about swaps, don't have to worry about really much of anything. So let me pull that over. Okay, we're on Kinetic now, so I'm going to connect my wallet. My wallet is now connected. There we go. And there's nothing here for me to do right now. So I need to supply my assets. So we'll go ahead and go to the primary markets, hit supply, borrow now. Make sure you're on the supply tab. Under the token drop down, make sure USDT0 is selected. And then for me, I'm just going to hit max. I'm going to hit approve and supply. Then I'm going to confirm the first transaction, which is strictly for the approval. And then there will be another transaction to actually supply the tokens to the market. So let this finish up. Confirm the second transaction. All right, boom. There we go. 36 USDT0 has been supplied. And I'm currently earning a 36.46 APY. Let's look at the breakdown. So just for simply supplying, I'm only earning 0.02%. But the distribution APY, which is denominated in our Flare rewards, I'm earning 36.44%, which total those together, I'm getting a total of 36.46% APY, which is pretty good. That's actually pretty solid. So um, as I continue, I can either continue to build this position, I can, look for other opportunities through Flare metrics, like I showed you, for other opportunities, whether it's LPs or anything like that, and really just stack the R Flare rewards. It's really good time to be getting into Flare DeFi with the incentives going on. There's some really good incentives. There's plenty of DeFi opportunities for everyone's risk profile, risk tolerance, whether you're on the more riskier side or on the more risk adverse side. Regardless, there's a little bit of something for everybody. So, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.